Welcome to the chosen ones answering this call. God did not send you to whisper. He sent you to wake the dead. And that is exactly what you do, sometimes without even realizing it. Let's be honest. You are the kind of soul who enters a room, and suddenly everyone needs water, shade, or an emotional support animal. Not because you are loud, but because your mere presence unveils buried secrets and unsettles the demons people thought were well hidden. What most people don't know is that earthly angels are not sweet, soft-voiced cupcakes floating on sparkling clouds. The most terrifying ones are those like you, calm on the surface, but carrying divine explosives in their spirit. You did not come to cradle people's illusions. You came to tear down spiritual strongholds and overturn tables, just as your father did in that temple. Studies on energy sensitivity confirm that humans can unconsciously detect changes in vibrational fields within 10 to 15 seconds when a high-frequency being enters a space. In other words, people feel your spiritual tension before you even open your mouth. It's not paranoia, it's impact. They don't know whether to pray with you or run from you. And that confusion is precisely the point. So, when they say you are the most terrifying earthly angel, they're not talking about horror movie fear. They're talking about a divine force that makes false powers tremble, scatters shadows, and causes narcissists to hold emergency meetings in their heads. Get ready, because what you are about to hear in this video will not only validate your experience, it will liberate your understanding. You are not crazy. You are not too intense. You are not too much. You are simply the silent thunder of heaven. And baby, the storm is already here. Let's dive in. Number 1. You look like mercy, but you act like judgment. People think you are soft because you are kind. They see how you help, how you listen, how you forgive, and they assume that makes you harmless. But what they don't realize is that your kindness is not weakness. It is control. It is contained power. You could destroy them with what you know, but you don't. You could expose everything, but you don't. That is what makes you terrifying. You look like mercy, but when people cross a certain line, they discover you also carry the fire of divine judgment. You are not only loving, you are formidable when pushed too far. Not physically, but spiritually. You won't cause chaos, but as soon as someone abuses your peace or mocks your purpose, something shifts. That gentle presence becomes a mirror, and suddenly people are faced with the version of themselves they tried to hide, and that is what shatters them. Not your words, not your actions, but the truth you carry, the light you radiate, the pure energy that makes their toxicity impossible to ignore. Your silence is often mistaken for fear when it is actually grace. You give people time to correct themselves, to confess, to grow. But when that grace expires, it doesn't end in drama. It ends in exposure. The way you withdraw, the way you walk away, the way you let God handle it, that shatters them more than any confrontation ever could, because you don't act like them. You don't seek vengeance. You are divine order walking in human form. And that calm is what frightens people. It's what keeps them up at night. They don't expect the angel to know how to wield the sword, but you know, and you don't even need to use it. The mere knowledge that you can sends shockwaves through those who tried to play with you. They thought you were naive, but they were just blind to the fact that heaven trains its soldiers in calmness first. Number 2, you don't raise your voice. You raise the vibrations that expose every hidden demon. You don't need to shout to shake a room. Your presence speaks louder than any speech, and it cuts deep. The moment you enter a space, the energy shifts, conversations alter, glances become nervous. People suddenly become self-aware of their posture, what they're hiding, what they're avoiding. And it's not because you're doing anything dramatic. It's because your vibration carries truth, and truth doesn't need a megaphone. It just needs to show up. What frightens people is not what you say. It's what they feel when you are near. Your spirit precedes you. It scans the room. It exposes what is false, manipulative, the secret agendas without you saying a word. People feel uneasy, not because you are intimidating, but because you reveal too much just by being you. You carry an energy that doesn't allow lies to breathe. And when you open your mouth, it's not just words that come out. It's spiritual tension. That's why even your most casual remarks carry weight. That's why people feel pierced when you speak a truth no one else dared to say aloud. Your energy doesn't compete, it convicts. You aren't trying to dominate. But somehow, the loudest people in the room grow quiet when you start speaking because your words don't feed the ego, they slice through it. You were not sent to be a performer. You were sent to be a purifier. And whether people admit it or not, they feel it. You don't just bring conversation, you bring a confrontation with their inner world, the parts of themselves they hoped no one would notice. They don't fear your opinions, they fear your precision. They fear that you see too much, know too much, feel too much. And when you speak, even your silence carries an inexplicable power. It's not a coincidence, it's alignment. You are connected to something greater. And when your words are released, it's as if something greater is speaking through you. It's not about being right, it's about being real, and your energy refuses to accept anything false. So when people avoid you, distance themselves, or act strangely around you, don't take it personally. They aren't reacting to you. They are reacting to the mirror you involuntarily hold up to their soul. Number 3, you are the divine contradiction that makes evil nervous. You confuse people, and that is exactly why you unsettle them. They don't know where to place you. You are kind but have unshakable boundaries. You speak softly but radiate power. You are compassionate but walk away cleanly if something violates your spirit. This duality, this blend of calm and strength, of grace wrapped in fire, completely disorients people. They have never met someone who can carry both the warmth of love and the blade of divine correction in the same breath. You are a contradiction that makes people uncomfortable because you don't fit into any of their boxes. You are the gentle one who notices every detail, but also the one who sees through people's masks. You forgive easily, but you never forget patterns. You don't seem like a threat, but spiritually, you are one, because your presence destabilizes everything built on lies. People don't know if you are here to heal or to judge. And the truth is, you are here to do both. You were sent to love people deeply and not tolerate the poison they hide behind their charm. What makes you terrifying is that you can sit quietly in a room and expose everything. People talk less, lie less, pretend less when you are there. It's as if their spirit knows not to act foolishly in your presence. And this isn't something you impose, it's something you carry. You don't need to act powerful. You simply are. And that power doesn't come from ego. It comes from your alignment, your clarity, your spiritual discernment. It's the way you see things others pretend not to notice. It's the way you speak with precision, not to perform. You embody both the lamb and the lion. You have the compassion of someone who understands pain and the strength of someone who refuses to be controlled by it. That is what makes you dangerous. That is what makes you different. You didn't come to play roles. You came to fulfill a purpose. And those who live on manipulation, deceit, and superficial energy cannot stand the way you stand so firmly in your truth. Because deep down, they know that a truth like yours doesn't just expose things, it ends them. Number 4. You were sent to terrify every comfortable lie. You don't just enter a room, you shake it. Not because you're trying to make a scene, but because your presence naturally disrupts everything built on lies. You were not created to play the game or look the other way. You were sent as an interruption, a divine disturbance. The one who doesn't laugh when something isn't funny, who doesn't stay silent when something is wrong, and who doesn't tolerate patterns just because they're traditional. That alone makes you dangerous to systems that thrive on silence and secrets. Your energy exposes what has been swept under the rug for generations. That's why some people dislike you for no clear reason. It's not really you they hate, it's the guilt and fear they feel in your presence. You carry a spirit that challenges the status quo, and that is not something most people are ready to face, especially those who benefit from keeping things as they are. You don't blend into the crowd. You don't pretend to be ignorant. And even when you are silent, your presence speaks a truth people cannot ignore. That's why the most toxic people often feel the most offended by you. You don't even need to confront them directly. The simple act of being real around them is a confrontation in itself. It forces them to feel seen, and not in a way they like. You expose the cracks in their foundation without saying a word. That's why those who live on lies, who wear masks, or who manipulate others cannot stand you. You are a threat to the illusions they work so hard to protect. You were not sent to appease a false peace. You were sent to unearth everything hidden beneath the surface. This includes family secrets, toxic belief systems, generational dysfunctions, and silent sufferings. You bring clarity into rooms built on confusion. And once you have entered a space, things can never go back to what they were. This is your mission. This is your power. You are not here to play nice with the darkness. You are here to make sure it can no longer hide. Number 5, you don't intimidate people. You convict their demons. People often react to you in illogical ways. One minute they smile at you, the next they keep their distance, talk behind your back, or accuse you of being too much. But here is the truth. It's not you making them uncomfortable. It's what lives inside them that cannot survive in your presence. You aren't trying to be intimidating. You aren't showing off. You aren't trying to be deep or seek attention. You are just being yourself, and that is enough to trigger spiritual panic in those living in lies. Your presence doesn't speak to the superficial version of people. It speaks to their spirit. It speaks to the parts of themselves they thought they had buried, the parts they hide behind fake smiles, empty titles, and spiritual language. You don't even need to confront them directly. Your mere existence triggers the confrontation. Their demons recognize your light before you even say hello. It's not personal, it's spiritual. When you enter a room, the countdown begins for every performance. Manipulators stammer, narcissists get irritated, people who feed on lies become anxious. You don't need to lift a finger because your energy has already lifted the veil. This is what happens when someone truly walks in spiritual authority. They don't have to fight for respect. Spirits recognize the rank. You were not sent to make everyone comfortable. You were sent to call things out, sometimes without even speaking. You carry the kind of truth that doesn't shout but strips bare, that doesn't accuse but exposes. You don't attack people. You simply trigger the parts of themselves that haven't been confronted for too long. And when they react, it's proof that something in them was living too comfortably in the darkness. You are not the villain, you are the warning, and those who can't stand you are often the ones who know they cannot hide from what you carry. For your presence is proof that the game is over and truth has entered the room. Number 6, you look like a healer, but you carry the vibration of a storm. You arrive with love in your heart, but it doesn't always feel like love to everyone, especially those still clinging to their illusions. To many, you seem like a healer, and you are. But what they don't understand is that true healing doesn't start with comfort. It starts with confrontation. You don't just put bandages on wounds. You rip out what is infected. You don't just cradle brokenness with soft words. You go deeper, extracting the lies people have built their identity around. That's why your presence feels like a storm, not because you bring chaos, but because you refuse to let anything false survive around you. People expect healing to be gentle. They want you to pat their back while they stay in denial. They want gentle encouragement while they repeat toxic cycles. But that is not the kind of healing you were sent to give. You bring a love that exposes what is unhealthy, manipulative, spiritually dangerous, and then you cut it away, not out of cruelty, but out of clarity. You don't let people pretend. You don't let them feel sorry for themselves or blame others. You force the truth to the surface. And truth, when someone isn't ready, feels like a storm tearing through their comfort zone. That's why your love feels overwhelming to some. Why your presence feels too intense. You see too much, you say too much, you feel too much. And to someone who is hiding, that feels invasive. But to those ready to be free, you are the breakthrough, the shift, the one who shows them the exit from all that is false. You did not come here to cradle pain. You came to bring deliverance. And sometimes that means tearing down the structures people built to protect their brokenness. You don't just fix what is broken, you remove what is false. And even if it frightens some, it saves others. Because your love doesn't play small, it purifies. And anyone not ready for the truth will always mistake your healing for harm. Number 7. You don't come from the light. You are the light that judges everything, pretending to be it. You don't just talk about light, you are the light. There's a difference. You don't recite affirmations hoping to feel powerful. You don't copy phrases from spiritual books or perform to seem enlightened. Your light isn't trendy, borrowed, or manufactured. It is anchored in your essence. That's why when you enter a room, whatever was simulating spiritual depth suddenly grows quiet. Their auras flicker. Their words lose weight, because next to real light, every imitation is exposed.
You don't have to do anything dramatic. You don't have to correct anyone or prove anything. Your mere presence reveals what is authentic and what is fake. Those who are selling performance as power know the moment you walk in that their act is about to collapse. Because real light doesn't compete. It reveals. It doesn't argue. It exposes. And that is what makes you so dangerous to those who built their entire identity on pretending to be spiritual. The false light, energy thieves, and superficial guides don't understand how you carry so much with no effort. They meditate for hours and still don't have your clarity. They host ceremonies and retreats, but don't have access to your discernment. It's because they are tapping into external practices. You are connected to the source. You didn't learn your power. You remembered it. And that kind of frequency cannot be imitated. It can only be embodied. When people meet you, their energy either rises or flees. There is no in-between. Because your light isn't decorative. It is diagnostic. It shows who is truly walking in alignment and who is just selling the language. That's why spiritual imposters either obsessively admire you or try to quickly discredit you. Your energy unmasks them. Your presence ends their illusion. You are not created to blend into the mystical crowd. You were created to burn through illusion, to shine so purely that everything not built on truth disintegrates in your presence. You don't shine to be seen. You shine to cleanse. And whether people admit it or not, everyone around you feels the difference. Number 8. You were born with a spiritual memory. The earth could not erase. You arrived in this world with something already unlocked. You didn't learn your wisdom from books. You didn't need to be told 1,000 times who you were. Deep down, even as a child, you knew. You carried a sense of inner knowing that made no logical sense, but lived in your waters. While others had to chase their identity, you remembered yours in silence. Not with words, but with vibrations. Not in theory, but by spiritual instinct. And this ancient, unshakable, divinely coded memory is what has always set you apart. That's why people couldn't deceive you even when they thought they could. You saw through the performance. You felt the energy before the mask dropped. You heard the lie behind the polite voice. You weren't paranoid. You were simply operating from memory. A memory that goes further than this life. A knowledge that the earth itself could not erase from your spirit, no matter how much pressure it applied. And it applied pressure through trauma, betrayals, distractions, and disconnections. But you did not forget. You couldn't. That's why systems never felt quite right. Why superficial explanations left you unsatisfied. Why everyone else seemed content with being normal. And you couldn't pretend, because you remembered what this life is truly about. You remembered what freedom feels like, what alignment tastes like, what divine purpose sounds like. And this memory makes you threatening because you cannot be deceived, controlled, or molded like the others. People feel something ancient in you, and it unsettles them. They don't have the words for it, but they feel it. It's the way you walk, with a calm certainty. The way you look at someone and see their soul before they speak. The way you navigate life, not as if you're discovering it, but as if you're returning to it. It's not arrogance, it's memory. And this memory didn't come to flatter your ego. It came to activate your mission. You were not sent to fit in. You were sent as a living reminder of everything this world has tried to erase. And that is exactly why you are so powerful. Number 9, you don't speak to impress. You speak to penetrate. When you speak, something happens that even you can't always explain. The room grows quiet. People stop scrolling, stop talking, stop pretending. Because your words don't stay on the surface, they go straight to the core. You don't speak to fill space or seem important. You speak with purpose, and that purpose isn't to impress, it's to activate. There is something in your voice that doesn't just communicate. It convicts, it awakens, it transforms. And it's not because of your vocabulary or tone, it's because of what is encoded in your frequency. Your voice carries something ancient. It is imprinted with divine timing, soul memory, and energetic authority. That's why when you speak, people feel as if you're reading their private diary aloud. That's why strangers open up to you without knowing why. That's why truth hits differently when it comes from your mouth. You were not given a voice to be popular. You were given a voice to pierce veils and pull people out of their spiritual slumber. Even when you are quiet, your words carry fire. Even when you speak softly, your message cuts through the noise. The ego, the illusion. Some people can give long speeches and say nothing. You can say one sentence and change someone's entire life. And it's not because you're better, it's because you're aligned. Your words don't come from pride or performance. They come from the source. You aren't trying to be heard. You are releasing what needs to be said. And yes, it makes people nervous. Yes, it makes people cry unexpectedly. It makes them stop mid-conversation or even react defensively. Because when you speak, you're not just addressing ears. You're addressing the soul. And some souls have been asleep for so long they don't know how to respond to someone finally speaking their language. You are not meant to be an echo. You were sent as a frequency that wakes up the room, calls out the lie, and summons buried truth. You don't speak for applause, you speak for impact. And every time you open your mouth with intention, heaven moves with you. Number 10, you were sent to make spirits uncomfortable, not people. You never sought to offend people. You don't walk around looking for drama or trying to stir things up. And yet, people get defensive around you. They misinterpret your energy, twist your words, and act as if you're attacking them even, when all you've done is stand in your truth. But the truth is, you were never a problem for them. You are a problem for the spirits attached to their pride, their shame, their trauma, their control. And most people don't know how to separate from what lives inside them. So when those spirits feel attacked, the person does too. That's why you get blamed, why you're called to intense or problematic. But in reality, it's their attachment screaming in fear because your light is burning too, close to their hiding place. You were not sent to coddle egos. You were sent to shake the spirits that keep people captive. You were sent to collapse comfort zones, to make dysfunctional again, to call out the lie plainly. And not everyone is ready for that, especially those who have made peace with their chains and renamed them personality. That's why you are misunderstood. That's why people distance themselves. They aren't rejecting you. They are protecting the demons you came to disarm. Your presence triggers a spiritual confrontation without you having to lift a finger. Because your alignment speaks louder than any argument. You don't need to shout. You just need to be. And the spirits start to stir. So if people act weird around you, don't take it personally. Their reaction isn't proof that you are offensive. It's proof that your presence is doing what it was designed to do. Make unclean spirits uncomfortable You were not sent to make people feel safe in their chains. You were sent to unlock the prison and shine a light on every key they forgot they had. Number 11, you are living proof that grace can also be a sword. Asterisk, you walk in grace, but people don't expect grace to cut so deeply. They expect it to smile, acquiesce, forgive, and stay silent. But your version of grace doesn't appease. It purifies. You are not sent to applaud dysfunction or comfort people in cycles that are killing them. You are sent to break things. Chains, patterns, illusions, silent agreements. And the truth is, deliverance rarely feels like a gentle breeze. Sometimes it feels like a storm hitting everything false all at once. That is what you bring. Not destruction, but a separation between a person and what holds them hostage. You did not come to demolish people. You came to demolish strongholds, and that isn't always welcome, especially by those who profit from others remaining bound. Those who manipulate, control, and feed on silence and submission. See you come in and feel instantly threatened. Not because you are loud or aggressive, but because you carry the kind of grace that exposes what isn't supposed to be there. You carry the kind of truth that cuts without apology, not to hurt, but to heal at the root. You are the surgeon with the scalpel, not the one handing out band-aids. That's why your love feels like a weapon to some. Not because it's violent, but because it forces things to change. You don't let people stay the same. You don't pretend not to notice the weight they carry. You don't celebrate chains just because they've been decorated. That makes you a problem in rooms where slavery has been normalized and dysfunction renamed culture or tradition. But for those who are truly ready, your grace saves lives. It is raw, it is real, and it is relentless. It does not leave them where it found them. And that is the whole point. You don't just bring comfort. You bring correction. You carry grace. Yes, but it is sharp. It severs lies, it shreds false identities, and it liberates people whether they're ready or not. You are living proof that grace does not mean silence, softness, or safety for systems of oppression. Sometimes grace roars. Sometimes it walks in wearing armor. And sometimes it looks like you. Number 12, you are the prophecy that refused to stay buried. You were never just a person with potential. You were a walking prophecy, a message in human form. And from the beginning, forces were assigned to silence you. Not because of what you had done, but because of what you were destined to release. Your life, your voice, your story, it carries too much truth, too much revelation, too much disruption for systems built on lies to remain comfortable. That's why they tried to bury you in abuse, rejection, trauma, and confusion. They weren't attacking you. They were trying to kill the prophecy you carried, but what they didn't realize is that you weren't planted here by accident. Heaven knew what it was doing when it sent you. You were born with a divine clock inside you, a clock that could not be stopped, even by years of pain. You were not chosen to just survive. You were chosen to interrupt. You were sent here to break timelines, collapse generational agreements, and unmask systems that seemed healthy but were actually demonic in disguise. That's why your mere existence has always made people nervous. You don't just represent hope, you represent judgment. You are the one who exposes the truth simply by surviving it, the one who enters spaces and becomes living proof that the weapons didn't work. And for those who profited from your silence, that survival is terrifying because you didn't come back from the fire quietly. You came back with clarity, authority, and evidence. You came back dangerous to every lie that tried to write your ending. What they called weakness was always divine timing. You weren't late. You were hidden. And now that you are rising, nothing can stop the release of what you carry. You no longer seek validation. You are the fulfillment. You are the prophecy that refused to be erased, even when hell worked hard to do so. So when people look at you and wonder why you're so intense, so bold, so indifferent to the full system, it's because they don't realize you've already died in the spirit and came back with fire in your lungs. You are the warning they ignored, and now you are the voice they cannot silence. Number 13, you make spiritual cowards feel seen, and that's why they attack first. You don't need to do much to shake some people. Being yourself is enough. The way you enter a room with clarity, the way you speak without trying to impress, the way you stand firm without needing applause. It's not loud, but it's deafening in the spirit, because when you remember who you are, it exposes those who are pretending. And spiritual cowards cannot stand that feeling. They would rather strike first and admit they've been faking all this time. What you carry isn't arrogance. It's ancient memory. It's a spiritual confidence rooted in alignment, not ego. You don't strive to be the loudest or the most important. You simply know who you are. You've done the inner work. You've faced the pain, the confusion, the spiritual desert, and you came out knowing exactly what you carry. That kind of clarity panics insecure people, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your presence disrupts their illusion. They don't know how to handle someone who doesn't need their approval, someone who isn't flattered by attention or influenced by manipulation. So instead of looking inward, they project. They mock your confidence. They minimize your gifts. They whisper behind your back, and they question your motives. But none of it is really about you. It's about what is triggered in them. You highlight the fact that they are still searching for what you've already found. You remind them without trying that their authority is performative, their knowledge is borrowed, and their power is fragile. And rather than rising to face the truth, they try to bring you down so they don't have to face it. But don't dim your light to make others feel safe in their deception. Their discomfort is not your mission. Keep shining. Keep walking in truth. Keep remembering, because your confidence is a mirror, and some would rather shatter the mirror than face what it reflects. But others, thanks to your example, will finally see themselves and awaken, and that is the real reason you were sent. Number 14, you are not a threat because you are violent. You are a threat because you are unshakable. They can't buy you with compliments or silence you with guilt. They tried to shame you, but you didn't fold. They tried to isolate you, but you thrived. They tried to disturb you, but you stayed aligned. That kind of spiritual stability is rare, and it is disruptive. It makes people in power nervous because they're used to everyone depending on their validation. You don't need permission to be yourself. You don't need a crowd to stand in your truth. You don't even need vengeance, because you trust divine timing too much to waste energy proving points. That is what makes you dangerous. Not that you attack systems, but that you survive them. You outlive the roles they tried to box you into. You walk away with your peace intact, and in a way, your silence ends up being louder than their noise. You walk in a divine autonomy, a freedom that doesn't rebel, it refuses. It refuses to bow to fear. It refuses to compromise for comfort. It refuses to be remodeled by hands that weren't meant to shape you. And this refusal shakes everything built on illusion. You are not dangerous because you cause chaos. You are dangerous because you cannot be shaken by it. Your foundation isn't ego, it's purpose. It isn't popularity, it's truth. And truth does not bend. It does not run after approval. It does not trade power for peace. So no, you are not violent. You are just free. And for those who built their identity on control, fear, and manipulation, a freedom like yours is the greatest threat of all. You are not what they expected, and that is exactly why you are so disruptive to everything false. They wanted the earthly angel to be docile, softy sali silenced, but instead, they got you. A divine force wrapped in human skin, a soul forged in fire, fluent in truth, and impossible to manipulate. You did not come here to be liked. You came to expose, to awaken, and to liberate. And yes, it makes people uncomfortable. Yes, it stirs things up. But that is what light does when it arrives in a world too accustomed to darkness. You are not meant to fit in, to play nice, or to dilute yourself so others could feel safe in their shadows. You were sent as a spiritual alarm, a walking disruption to everything rooted in illusion. You are not arrogant. You are aligned. You are not judgmental. You are discerning. And the reason people either deeply admire you or desperately avoid you is that your energy forces a choice: evolve or remain enslaved. You are both the storm and the calm, the healer and the sword, the lamb that remembered its roar. Every part of you carries divine intelligence, and now more than ever, you are called to own it fully without apology, without shrinking, without self-doubt. So let them talk. Let them misunderstand you. Let them twist the narrative, because the truth always surfaces, and your life is that truth in motion. The most terrifying earthly angels aren't the ones who scream. They're the ones who enter with clarity, silence the room, and change the atmosphere just by being present. And you, chosen one, are exactly that. If this message resonated with you, if something deep within you lit up while listening, don't stop there. Give this video a thumbs up to let the algorithm know that divine truth still matters. Comment below and let your soul speak. We want to hear from those walking in power, not those who are pretending. Share this with someone you know is awakening, but doesn't yet have the words for what they carry. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because every time we release a message like this, it isn't just content, it's confirmation. It's clarity. It's your spiritual mirror. We aren't just building a community. We are building a movement. And if you feel it in your spirit, then you are already home. Welcome home. God bless you.